Thanks. It looks very inviting. Out.
Vampire movies are rife in Hollywood, with appeal being consistent over the years, dating all the way back to vampire novels that garnered the attention of many. We can't help but romanticize vampires. We have a fascination that we just can't explain. And of course, this hasn't gone unnoticed in Hollywood, with countless vampire movies being released each and every year. So today on Top 5 Scary Videos, I'm going to be counting down our list of the top 5 scary upcoming vampire horror movies. Before we begin though, be sure to stick around until the end of the video where I'll be responding to some of your comments. And with that, let's jump in. Coming in at number 5, we have Underworld 6. Now this one is exciting but slightly disappointing, and you'll see why in a minute. First and foremost, the Underworld films are a series of action horror movies created by Len Wiseman, Kevin Graveau and Danny McBride, with the first movie being released back in 2003. The movies tell the story of Celine, played by Kate Beckinsale, a vampire who works as a death dealer, killing the Lycans who allegedly slaughtered her family. As it stands, there have been 5 movies in the series, including Underworld, Underworld Evolution, Underworld Rise of the Lycans, Underworld Awakening, and Underworld Blood Wars, with the 6th movie being announced back in 2017. However, a release date has not been confirmed. Now here is where things get disappointing. Kate Beckinsale has confirmed she will not be returning for the 6th installment, stating that, I quote, "It would have been a terrible movie based on the script that I read. I wouldn't return. I've done plenty of those." Savage, but respect. Also, if we're being honest, the only good Underworld movies were 1 and 2, so they better have a killer script and a phenomenal cast to even come close to the original movie. But by the sounds of things, the script isn't sounding too great, especially if the star of Click, Kate Beckinsale, is turning it down. Coming in at number 4, we have Blade 2022. That's right, we're set to have a brand new Blade movie rumored to be hitting the big screen in 2022. The MCU announced their Phase 4 slate, which has, of course, been pushed back with COVID plaguing our lives. However, there seems to be an empty gap for a mystery movie in 2022, which many are assuming will be Blade. Now, the new Blade was announced last year at San Diego Comic-Con, with it being revealed that Mahershala Ali will be playing the title character, with the actor taking the stage to a round of applause as he donned the Blade baseball cap. Now, for those who don't know, Blade is a fictional character who hails from Marvel Comics. He is a human-vampire hybrid who aims to rid the world of evil vampires and has trained himself to become the ultimate monster hunter. As we all know, the comics were adapted into a series of movies starting back in 1998, with Wesley Snipes taking on the role of Blade. However, it is about time we had a new take on the iconic character, and I personally cannot wait for Mahershala Ali's depiction of this human vampire. Coming in at number 3, we have Dracula Reboot. Back in 1992, we were gifted with Bram Stoker's Dracula, a movie adaptation of the 1896 gothic horror novel of the same name. The novel introduced us to the character of Count Dracula, and actually went on to establish many conventions of the vampire fantasy. The novel tells the story of Dracula's attempt to move from Transylvania to England, so that he may find new blood and spread the undead curse, and of the battle between Dracula and a small group of people led by Professor Abraham Van Helsing. The movie adaptation back in 92 starred the likes of Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, Anthony Hopkins, Keanu Reeves and more, and was a hit among horror movie lovers, with some folks stating, I quote, "It was overblown in the best sense of the word. Francis Ford Coppola's vision of Bram Stoker's Dracula rescues the character from decades of campy interpretations, and features some terrific performances to boot." Now, the world is all set for a brand new take on Dracula, with director Karen Kusama, the woman behind Jennifer's Body, teasing that her Dracula will be different from other adaptations. Personally, I'm very excited for this take on Dracula, considering how great Jennifer's Body was. I have high hopes. Coming in at number 2, we have Morbius. Set to be released on March 19th, 2021, Morbius is an upcoming superhero horror film based on the Marvel Comics character of the same name. Now, the comic book series is titled Morbius the Living Vampire and was created by Roy Thomas, with the character first appearing as an enemy of Spider-Man in the Amazing Spider-Man issue 101 back in 1971. Morbius is a former award-winning biochemist named Michael Morbius, who was imbued with pseudo-vampiric superhuman abilities and physical traits after a failed biochemical experiment, which was intended to cure him of his disease. From then on, he struggles with his new persona and his insatiable lust for human blood, as well as the subsequent efforts to cure his condition. Now, the movie adaptation is set to hit the big screen next year, with Jared Leto playing the title character. It is also intended to be the second movie in the Sony Pictures universe of Marvel Comics. The movie is directed by Daniel Espinosa and also stars Matt Smith, Jared Harris and Tyrese Gibson. The movie's first trailer was released in January 2020, with it initially being set to be released in July 2020. However, some reshoots took place in February of this year, and then, of course, COVID happened, with production halting and the movie's release date being pushed back to March of next year, with the pandemic closing movie theaters around the world, although they are starting to reopen, which I'm very happy about. And finally, coming in at number 1, we have Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles. That is right, we're getting an interview with the Vampire Reboot, whether we like it or not. Personally, I don't believe this is something we need right now, with the original Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt movie being incredibly close to perfection, but honestly, with the rate that the film industry is pumping out bad horror movies, I'll take it. Now, for those who don't know, the Vampire Chronicles is a series of novels created by writer Anne Rice that revolves around the fictional character of Lestat de Lioncourt, a French nobleman turned into a vampire in the 18th century. Some of these works include Interview with the Vampire, The Vampire Lestat, The Queen of the Damned, The Tale of the Body Thief, Merrick, Prince Lestat, and more. Now, Interview with the Vampire was the first of Anne Rice's novels to be adapted into a movie back in 1994, with the next being The Queen of the Damned, which was adapted back in 2002. Now, a television series adaptation of the novels was announced by Hulu back in July 2018, however, these rights expired in December 2019. Jumping forward, it was announced that AMC had acquired the rights to both of the Vampire Chronicles and the Lives of the Mayfair Witches for developing both film and television projects. Now, as it stands, it seems as though instead of getting a new adaptation, we will be getting a reboot of Interview with the Vampire, which centers on vampire Louis de Pointe-de-Lac, who tells the story of his life to a reporter, beginning with his transformation into a vampire by Lestat back in 1791, with the movie chronicling their life together and the turning of 10-year-old Claudia into a vampire. Like I said before, this 1994 movie is so close to perfection that I'm nervous about anyone trying to touch it or do something different with it, but we shall see how this all unfolds in time. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with our list? With any vampire horror movies that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below, and perhaps we can do a part 2. Before I go though, I just want to respond to a few comments from one of our last videos, top 5 scary horror games with no way to fight back. It's Tokyo said, uncommon opinion, Outlast Whistleblower is better than Outlast 2. I don't think it's an uncommon opinion, I actually think that is the most popular opinion, because I agree with you. Outlast 2 was good, but it didn't have the same horror as the first game. I didn't like the cutting between the woods and the school. I didn't really like the whole school storyline, that freaked me out, and not in a good way. Leonza Gaming said, when I saw the notification for the video I was thinking, I swear if they don't include Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm turning off notifications for the channel, but you didn't disappoint. I knew a lot of you would be upset if I didn't include FNAF, so there you go, you got FNAF. You can sleep well tonight. Possessed_gamer9 said, I'm installing Outlast 2 whilst watching this video, wish me luck Lucy. Good luck, because Outlast 2 is hard. Like, Outlast 1 was terrifying, but it wasn't that difficult to play. Outlast 2 was hard, and there's some horrible characters, like a big guy that carries a little guy on his shoulders, and everyone's that's all you need to know. And there's a woman with a thing, she tries to kill you all the time. She's horrible. Horrible, horrible. Jojo Animation said, is Jerry's name Sarah Emily? I had to include this. Yeah, there's a running joke that, well, it's not really a running joke, I've just got a fan of my hair called Jerry who likes to comment on everything I do in life, talking about my hair. Anyway, Sarah Emily is not Jerry. Sarah Emily is Sarah. That's all you need to know. Bill Baggins said, Lucy, if you ever see this, maybe possibly, doubt it, keep up the great content and may you prosper like you deserve. I saw it, and I liked it, and thank you, I appreciate it. Mike Dub said, yay, it's Lucy, are you a gamer? If so, what is your current favourite game? I am a gamer, I love lots of games. I'm still playing The Last of Us Part 2, it's taken me a little while to finish, I forgot about it. I was also playing Resident Evil 3. I download things and I just forget about them. What else have I been playing? I replayed like Outlast 2. I play FIFA. I play a lot of things. Dead by Daylight though, that's my favourite game. And on that note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another scary vid. And until next time, see you later. Films are a series of actional horror movies. Actional? Applause as he dons the Blade baseball cap. With the actor taking the stage for a round of applause, from then on he struggles with his new persona. Why am I struggling to speak today? But we will but we